Next up, we have Miss Erica, and Miss Erica is going to present all about Math Plus. Welcome, Erica. Hi.
Be here. Let me get my screen shared.
Okay, and we're just going to make sure that you share that full screen so that our participants can see your screen. I know that looks a little different. That is perfect. That looks great. I will just start out by saying that my daughter has been in this program a couple years and she will be in it this year, and it's one of her absolute favorite things. She had Miss Carrie one year, and oh my goodness, had such a great year. And the next year, last year, she had a different teacher, and oh my gosh, that was her favorite teacher. And so you guys have a really great team, and you have stole my daughter's heart.
Oh, I love to hear that. Yeah, we have, I'm obviously a little biased, but I think we have the best math department in the state, if not the country. These teachers are such professionals and they're constantly working on their own professional development, whether it be reading and learning about math or math instruction or new technology and tools to use. And they are always on top of their game. So,
Boy,
anyway,
that is so true. That is true. You guys have the cream of the crop. So I'm gonna let you get started.
okay, all right. So, Math Plus is we are a full curriculum option. So, if your student enrolls in Math Plus, we handle all things math, including well, not including, but you don't have to do your formatives through your roster teacher because in Math Plus we do our own assessments and formative assessments as well as summative, and we spiral everything. So we have lots of great data for the school, so you don't have to do the formatives. But so, what is Math Plus? We are core math courses. We're taught by that is taught by certified math teachers. This year, we're grades 6 through 12, so we no longer have our elementary program. And we have two options. We have the live classes, and then we also have the unplugged. And we'll talk a little bit more about what unplugged is here in a little bit. But for the live classes, it's a flipped classroom design. So your students will have prep work before class. So they're watching a video and taking notes to get some of the more basic instruction before they come to class. So once they get to class, they've already seen a little bit, they're familiar with the terminology, and they're ready to ask questions so that we're instead of spending class time just boring listening to a teacher, they're going to actually interact with the students and the teacher and actually practice the math while the teacher is there for support. So that's kind of what the flipped classroom is about. We also have office hours and tutoring available for extra help, and we limit our class sizes to 20 students. At Math Plus, our mission is to engage students in the exploration and application of mathematics and partner with those invested in their education to develop a community of independent learners with the skills necessary to be future ready and in demand. And our vision is that Math Plus students confidently communicate and apply mathematics skills and reasoning to improve their lives. Math Plus students have an appreciation for mathematics in their everyday lives, and Math Plus instructors are leaders in innovative mathematics instruction. So, what is expected of Math Plus students? Like I just mentioned, we have the prep videos and notes that they do before they come to class. We encourage them to ask as many questions as they need to. There's the only bad question is the one you didn't ask. They have to complete their assignments in Schoology and Alex. Alex is the one program that takes them outside of Schoology, and that's kind of that independent practice, like the homework. And so Alex also is individualized to the student. So we tell Alex we want to cover all of these skills, but students will do an initial knowledge check, and it will determine what skills they already know. So if they've already mastered certain skills, it won't make them do it again. But then Alex also does a periodic knowledge check. And if it shows that a student has lost mastery of a skill, then it'll put it back on their plate, so to speak. Alex also does remediation of a grade level or two. So if a student is not ready for their on grade level skill, it may have a couple of below grade level skills that it has them complete first so that they are prepared to access that on grade level skill. Um, and for the students enrolled in the live sections, we require that they attend and participate in their classes. Um, and then for the unplugged students, they will need to attend for proctored assessment. So we proctor all of our tests in Math Plus, whether you're live or unplugged. Students learn mathematics through the experiences that teachers provide. Thus, students' understanding of mathematics, their ability to use it to solve problems, and their confidence in and disposition toward mathematics are all shaped by the teaching they encounter in school. The improvement of mathematics for all students requires effective mathematics teaching in all classrooms. And as Shannon was just, speaking about her own daughter's experience, and that she really loves math, and probably partially because of Math Plus and the wonderful teachers she's experienced. We know that not all students come to us loving math. Maybe it's been really difficult for them in the past. And so we really want to cultivate a sense of community in our classrooms first so that students feel safe to speak up and engage in mathematics. And we want to provide them with experiences that let them realize that, hey, I can do math. This is something that I like, I enjoy it, and maybe that opens up new career doors for them. And so we really strive to help our students learn to love math. In Math Plus, we have kind of 3 different levels of support. Directly after class is what we call overtime. And that's where students can just hang on after class, like to ask the teacher questions like, hey, I really didn't understand what you were talking about when you did XYZ in class. Or it could be something about their homework or just really anything, but that's just directly after class. We have time built in for students and teachers to be able to interact after class. The next step is we have office hours, and those could be hosted by any teacher within that course. So not just their particular teacher. So let's say they have Miss Carrie, they may go to office hours and it's Miss Jennifer or Mr. Andrew. So, but by opening it up to all teachers of that course, that gives students more opportunities. So they don't have to just wait for their teacher's particular office hours. They can go to any other teacher so that they have an opportunity, I think, every day of the week and maybe a longer time frame on Fridays. And then finally, we have Math Lab, and that is our remediation. So we focus on tier 2 instruction in Math Lab. And so if your student is in Math Lab, they'll have 2 additional Math Plus classes each week. And there, what we're focusing on are the below grade level skills that students need in order to be successful with that week's lesson. So we call it just-in-time instruction. So if we're working on solving multi-step equations, we may be focusing on adding and subtracting integers and solving one-step equations in Math Lab because we know that those are the basic skills that the students need in order to solve the multi-step equations in class. And then we'll also build in a little bit of pre-teaching so that when they get to class, like they really feel ready to engage and speak up. And a lot of the feedback we've gotten from our Math Plus instructors is that the students who attend Math Lab often come to class and are the ones who do speak the most, and they're the most eager to answer questions. And that's attributed to the confidence that they've gained when they were in Math Lab. A number of different studies have shown that when students are given the freedom to think in ways that make sense to them, learning disabilities are no longer a barrier to mathematical achievement. Not all students will achieve at the same levels. Some students do have learning differences that need special attention, but many students develop the incorrect idea that they cannot be successful even though they can. And so we like to provide lots of opportunities for students to engage in problems right where they're at. And we're really big on not forcing, this is the one and only way to solve a problem. We want students to think creatively. We really believe that the deeper understanding comes when they're allowed to come up with their own ways to solve problems. And we help kind of guide them to different ways of solving as well. But we're definitely not just, well, this is the old school algorithm and this is how you do it. And if you don't get it, tough. Um, that's not what we believe in. We believe in really developing true mathematical reasoning, and all students have the ability to do that. Okay, so what courses are available? So we have 6th through 8th grade. And of course, 8th grade, you might hear it referred to as pre-algebra. We have 6th grade LEAP and 7th grade LEAP. And our LEAP courses are designed to accelerate students through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade curriculum in just 2 years. So that between 6th and 7th, they've covered all three. And then they're ready to take Algebra 1 in 8th grade. So if your student was in 7th grade LEAP last year, this year they would be in Algebra 1. So 6th and 7th have a lot of overlap. So we kind of do a lot of the 6th grade skills, like we're teaching them on the 7th grade level because they're the same skills, just they're a little bit deeper in 7th grade. So that's kind of an easy way to accelerate them through. And so that's what our LEAP classes are all about. And then of course in high school, we have Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and Math of Finance. And Math of Finance is an alternative third math course for students on the core diploma pathway. So instead of taking Algebra 2, they could take Math of Finance. And we also have honors courses that carry a weighted GPA. And so we have those available for Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and Pre-Calculus. And so if you make an A in one of those courses, you would have 4.5 points instead of just 4. And then of course a B would be 3.5 points, etc. So, and we have live and unplugged options for all courses except LEAP and Math of Finance. So what is unplugged? So our Math Plus Unplugged, it provides a little more flexibility for students. They don't have to come to the 2-day-a-week classes, but they still must stay on the same pace as our live classes. So it's not a go at your own pace, finish whenever you finish. We still have a weekly pace that those students are required to maintain. And when it's time for their test, like that's the time that you schedule your live session to have your test proctored. Our live courses are just kind of adjusted to like where there might be more teacher-led instruction, we'll have additional videos. Or if there's an activity that they were doing as a group, we'll substitute that with an activity that the student can do on their own. We have required Zoom check-ins. Those are going to vary. Not everyone is going to have the same number of required check-ins. As long as you're staying on pace and you're maintaining a C or better in the course, you're not going to have many required check-ins. You may just need to show up for your proctored assessments. But if we see that a student is really struggling with staying on pace or just not grasping the content, the teacher may require them to check in with them for some extra support. Unplugged students still have the same access to office hours as everyone else. And if they qualify for RTI, then they would of course have access to our math lab. How to join Math Plus. So if you've already completed your ILP and you're a high school student, you might not have selected Math Plus. And so in that case, you would skip that part. But for everyone else, you're filling out the Math Plus request form in PowerSchool. High school students will see that on the ILP. But again, if you've already done that and you didn't select Math Plus, that's okay. Still just fill out the form for us and we'll reconcile things on the back end. We go through the enrollments and there's some things that we have to verify, like we got to make sure you're enrolling in the right course and then and we have to make sure that we have space available. So whenever you fill out your form, you'll tell us what days and times you are available to attend. And then if we have space, a seat available at that day and time, then we will assign that time to you. Right now we're getting close to capacity in all courses. So if you're one who filled out the form and you haven't heard from us yet, it might be that we just don't have a spot available just yet at least at the times that you have said you are available. So soon we'll be emailing everyone who's kind of been waiting and hasn't gotten a confirmation yet and letting you know, hey, these are the times that we have available, or it may be that we only have unplugged still available. So we'll be reaching out soon, but most people should have already received a confirmation email, but it takes probably a couple of days from the time that you fill out the form until you are contacted about getting in. And the exception to that would be high schoolers because we got to confirm what course that you actually need. So, and that's it. So
Great job. Erica, I know you are not a paid advertisement, but I'm telling you, I'm coming right behind you to say, if someone says to me, what do you love most about Epic? Math Plus is at the top of my list. It is up there at the top. My daughter was an insecure, I can't do math, I don't like math kiddo, who turned into, oh my gosh, Miss Terry is the best thing ever. Can I take her to the next grade level? And then Miss Richardson is the best thing ever. And I would listen behind the scenes as a mom as they were on their Zoom. And that first 5, 10 minutes of just like, hey, what'd you do this weekend? Hey, tell me what you're interested in. And then during the math lesson, I would hear those teachers interject that information those students had said previously, like, hey, Zoe, you really like this. Remember when you were talking about this? Well, this is how you could use that in real life. And when they would do a problem, she would ask and say, hey, show me how you got your answer. And several kids would show it different ways. So you are correct. Everything Erica just said, I ditto that. This is a great program.
thank you.
Miss Bree, I know we have questions.
We have a couple questions, and then after you answer these first two, I may have you hang on and then just type your answers into the Q&A just for our time's sake. So first, is Math Plus free or purchased through the Learning Fund?
Okay, so this year Math Plus does require a specialty course fee, and that is $100. But if a student is also enrolling in, say, ENN or trying to think, art or one of
Coding, art,
the other
journalism.
programs, you're only paying the fee one time.
Okay, great. And then can a student start with unplugged and then if they need live, change to a live class? Can they go back and forth?
Um, if we have space available, yes. And we do always have some fluctuation in enrollment. So like even if we're full right now, like there's always, oh, I can no longer make this time work. I need to change to a different time. So then a seat will open up, or we'll have students who drop for whatever reason. So it is possible to start an unplugged and then move to live later.
Okay, great. And that's all the questions so far.
Okay, well then I'll head
So much.
backstage and answer in chat.
Yay, thank you.
Thanks.
That is truly a great program. And I'm telling you, my student being live 2 days a week with those teachers, just learned so much from those other students as well. And then just seeing them struggle a little bit with math built her confidence. Like, hey, I'm this age. I'm not supposed to know this yet. I have peers that don't know this yet. And so that was empowering as well. Our next presenters, we're switching gears a little bit and we're going to go talk about world languages. So we've got Miss Nikki here and Miss Holly here. And ladies, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hello. So let me get the share. Okay. Does that look right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure does. You got it.
All right. So I'm Nikki Hostetler. I'm starting my 9th year with Epic. I started as a roster teacher, but I've been the last 4 years, I'm starting my 4th year with the World Language Department. I have 5 children from 11 to 29 years old. Yes, you heard that right. It's a big span, I know. I have also been a homeschool mom on and off for over 20 years and an Epic mom on and off for about 10 years. So I understand a little bit about what it is to be a parent and homeschool through Epic.
Yeah, and my name's Holly Jamison Burden, and I'm starting my 6th year with Epic. I also started, like Nikki, as a roster teacher before transitioning full time to the World Language Department. I've got 4 kiddos, ages 8 to 18 years old, and I'm just really happy to be here to share all about world language courses with you all today.
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about the 4 main languages that we offer this year. They are Spanish and ASL, which all of those courses are going to be in Epic Ed now, Epic Ed. And we're going to talk a little bit more about all these offerings.
Yeah, and then all French, we're also offering French and German courses, and those will be through Imagine Learning Edgenuity, and we'll talk about that after we talk about our Epic Ed courses.
So we are really excited to have all of our courses, all of our Spanish 1 and 2 and ASL 1 and 2 courses in Epic Ed now. We've spent the last year and a half building these courses from scratch based on Oklahoma academic standards. These courses do not cost the student anything out of their learning fund. Just like all Epic Ed offerings, I think they're free of charge. As always, our world language faculty will be here to support your students in Spanish and ASL via email and also Zoom meetings, mostly one-on-one. So also, I just want to point out that for students that struggle a little bit with reading, there's audio in Spanish and English on the Spanish offerings. And I assume, Holly, that there's
Yeah.
audio. I don't know. Is there audio on the ASL offering?
So we'll piggyback off of that a little bit, but we have designed the Epic Ed Spanish and ASL courses to be accessible to all different
Yes.
types of learners. So yes, we've made our courses to be as accessible as possible. In the ASL course as well as the Spanish course, we do have all of the information read aloud until with ASL until we start going voices off and using only our hands. But we've designed these courses to be super accessible to everyone. And let's see who's on our world language team this year. So we have Kristen Disney as our managing director of specialty courses. And then we have a fabulous team that's made up of passionate, dedicated educators. And we all have the same goal to help students connect with the world through language and culture. Each teacher on our team brings just a unique expertise, different creativity that you'll see built into this new Epic Ed, ASL, and Spanish curriculum. And we all really love what we do. And you can probably see that in our curriculum and then with our live meetups as well. So all together, we work collaboratively and provide engaging, supportive, and culturally rich learning experiences for everyone. So again, leading our team is Kristen Disney. Our Spanish teachers include Laura Greenwood, Krista Greer, and the fabulous Nikki H. for level 1. Spanish 2 is taught by Sandra Baca and Jana Fairbanks. And then in ASL, we have Kelly Tillman for ASL 1, and I'll be leading the ASL 2 students this year.
Okay, so this slide is just to show you how high school credit works for those of you who may be a little confused about it. So it takes 2 semesters to make up 1 level of foreign language. So you're going to have 1A and 1B that equals Spanish 1, 1A and 1B that equals ASL 1. So in order to satisfy the world language high school requirement, a student would need 4 semesters of the same language. So either Spanish or ASL or French or German, but it needs to be 4 semesters, 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B of the same language.
How is communication going to work this year in the World Language Department? So we believe that communication with all stakeholders, that's the one-on-one roster teacher, the student, and the family is key to being successful in a world language course. So we'll provide regular progress reports to keep families and teachers informed. All teachers will also offer one-on-one tutoring appointments to give students personalized support whenever they need it.
This one's also you, Holly.
So yeah, so let's transition. Those were our Epic Ed courses again. We offer ASL and Spanish through Epic Ed free of charge. For those students that are interested in French or German, let's talk a little bit about that. So for students choosing French or German, the course enrollments are $275 per semester or $550 per year from the Learning Fund. Keep in mind that this fee is non-refundable. Students will learn with the support of a certified French or German teacher through Imagine Learning. Imagine Learning lessons use visual and gamified lessons. And keep in mind that all of our world language courses are designed to earn high school credit for grades 9th through 12th, and they will be recorded on the permanent transcript. Students in grades 6 through 8 can also enroll in world language courses with the approval of our managing director.
So also I wanted to add, Holly, that
Yeah.
the certified teachers in French and German actually do have office hours and will Zoom with students, which just makes the program that much, I mean, it's a pretty good program. Not as good as Epic, maybe. Sorry to say that, but almost as good. It's very, very good. Certified teachers, and the French even has additional on-demand tutoring available. Okay, so you might say, well, how do I enroll in a world language course? So the first way you do that is you choose world language course on the ILP for grades 9 through 12. If the ILP has already been submitted, the student changes their mind, then just submit a ticket to the student's GSS requesting the foreign language. Middle school students, we want to keep a little bit more control over that. Kristen Disney, our managing director of specialty courses, will be the one who you would send a email to request that. And you want to include in your email to her information about why you think the student would be successful. You know, a lot of sixth graders could totally do our courses, but not all of them. So send information that makes you think this student would be able to be prepared for the rigor of a high school level course. And that is the end of our presentation. Are there any questions?
Great job, ladies. Bree, do we have any questions?
We have a few questions, and then any of those questions that the panelists and the presenters know and you want to type those answers into, you're welcome to start doing that because we have a few questions and just a couple minutes. So first one is, can a Common Academy student do ASL?
The answer to that, I think Nikki's typing it. The answer to that is yes. A Comet Academy student can do ASL. We have lots of or Spanish. They can join a world language course.
Okay. Is ASL all virtual?
ASL is all virtual. It's 100% online this year.
Okay. Can a student take a world language, sign language, or just a basic Spanish one as an elective?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to let you guys answer those as you're doing that in the Q&A. And if you have any more questions about world languages, please keep those questions coming. Just type those into the Q&A and we will get those answered. Thank you.
Nikki and Holly, you did a great job. If you want to go backstage, we have other questions waiting for you. Thank you so much for that information. We have up next Kevin and Tara. So Kevin and Tara are going to talk to us about native languages. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, Tara.
There's Tara.
Hello. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to turn it over to you,
oh,
ladies.
I'm sorry. When we get started, I'm just going to share a quick video and then we'll follow up with some more specifics on our program. Okay, so are we seeing the screen? It says Native Languages Program.
Yes.
It looks
Okay,
great.
perfect. Perfect. Este, Kevin Roberts Fields, Jehotifkados. I have the privilege of serving as the Director of Native Languages for Epic Charter Schools. The vision of our program is to provide native language learning opportunities to all Epic students, regardless of geography, and to collaborate with tribal nations in their language revitalization efforts. We support students and teachers through the development of native language courses to be offered for world language credit. We currently offer a Muskogee Seminole Creek Seminole language course that is being developed and administered in partnership with the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. This is a unique opportunity for EPIC students to learn the language while helping our Native Languages program create an effective learning program for future native languages. We also connect students, parents, and teachers to external language courses offered by tribal language programs. If your student is interested in taking a tribal language for credit, or if you or your student is interested in information about a tribal language for an assignment, project, or general interest, connect with one of our team members. Okay. And we're back. Okay. Okay, so just a quick follow-up on our Native Languages program. We have one course that is available right now, and that's the Muskogee Seminole 1. And that is offered to high school students for world language credit. So there is another option for students in EPIC to receive a world language credit. Middle school students can enroll in the program with approval, but just know that the course requirements are that students have mandatory classes they have to attend 3 days a week. So sometimes that doesn't fit with the student schedule. Those classes are at 1 o'clock, usually Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If a student is interested in enrolling, the form can be accessed in PowerSchool under student forms, and that can be completed by a student, teacher, or a parent. And again, those course requirements are for the students to meet 3 days a week. This is not it's kind of a deviation from a lot of normal language courses that from day one, students are interacting in the language. The design of this course is to be communicative. And so it's designed around things that students are interested in, conversations that they would be having in real life situations. And we try to give them the tribal language to be able to do that. Now, again, at this time, we only have one tribal language that we're offering. And this partnership with Seminole Nation is helping us to create a template that hopefully that we can add other tribal languages in the future and expand those language opportunities to our students. Tara, do you have anything that you would like to add about
I
maybe
would,
the external?
yeah, I can talk about that. So a lot of our tribal nations in Oklahoma have their own language departments, and they have community classes or online classes. It varies by tribe, but one of the things that EPIC students are allowed is that through the elective portfolio process, they are allowed to, if they so choose, to take a tribal language that might be offered through another tribal. They might be tribal. They could be Choctaw, Cherokee, Citizen Potawatomi. But those type of language courses are available as an elective. So that is an option for EPIC students who may not be able to um, be able to take the level one Muskogee Seminole course. So that's an option for students as well. So, and we're happy to answer any questions, that you all might have if you think about it at a later date or anything like that. So,
Hey, Miss Bree, do we have anything?
Okay, and just so everyone knows, we put Tara and Kevin's emails there in the chat, not in the QA. It should have come to you in the chat, so if you need to email them, and then keep those questions coming. If you have any more questions, put them in the Q&A. And it looks like Kevin's been answering those for us. And then the last question is, how do we know who the GSS graduation specialist is? I think maybe you mentioned the GSS and they're wondering how to know who their GSS is.
So I have that the teacher could provide those details. If you have a student, you can email me or Tara directly and we can get that. But I think the quickest way would be to ask the teacher.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. I remember seeing a video on our social media of your students and the work that you're doing, and I was very impressed. And it's just such a beautiful sound to hear them speak in their heart languages. So that's just thank you for all the work that you're doing to keep that alive and going and passing on to other generations.
Well, thank you. We
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Yes. So, if you will go backstage and answer those questions for us, we appreciate you using your time and energy and effort to help our parents find more information. We're going to move on to our next speaker, who is Jay Strickland. And Miss Jay is going to tell us all about the college and career readiness. So, Miss Jay, when you are ready, come on out. Okay.
I
She's
think
not, there she is.
Lisa, I think I need her to let my video appear. I
Okay.
can't do it from my side. Oh, here we go. Hi. Hello. Good
Hi.
morning-ish afternoon.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. I just want to give a big shout out to our fabulous family engagement department for putting on this wonderful event and inviting us to share about the good works here in college and career readiness. So thank you so much. And with that, let me get my presentation ready
Okay.
and share my screen here. Let's see. Okay, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just how it should be.
It's perfect.
Good to go. Okay, well, thank you guys again. My name is Jay Strickland, and I have the privilege and the pleasure of serving as the managing director for the College and Career Readiness Department. So hopefully we've got some 8th through 12th grade students, caregivers, families out there because you are our people. We really believe that everything that we do from pre-K all the way up until you complete your time at Epic kind of builds up to this. But the ultimate goal is to ensure that when our students graduate from Epic, they are future ready and in demand, which is aspiration one for us here at Epic. So the mission of the College and Career Readiness Department is to ensure that our students do feel empowered, future ready, in demand, and fully prepared to pursue whatever it is you want to do and be successful beyond high school. We partner with our students specifically in 8th through 12th grade to make sure that they are educated and equipped to pursue those opportunities that are aligned with your interests and short and long-term goals. And it is our deep expectation that when students graduate, they're ready to go. And we love the work that we do, and we have a fabulous team that serves students. So we really support in 4 primary ways. The first is our college and career advising pathway. We facilitate the individual career and academic plan. We support students through post-secondary opportunity exploration and course completion. And then we connect students with our specialists across the College and Career Readiness Department. We also support students with all things career in that pathway, and that's going to include internships, work-based learning opportunities across the state. We have a fabulous virtual internship program. We service every career tech across the state and also students interested in pursuing the military after high school. We also support students with college. So that could be students interested in taking area college concurrent classes at universities and colleges across the state. We have a really unique partnership where students can take online concurrent courses. We support college planning and financial aid. And then we also have an innovative program with Transition Services where we support students who are impending graduates, just making sure that they are fully prepared with those next step plans for our seniors. We also do research with trends in college and career to make sure that what we're equipping students for here at Epic is going to actually make them and support them in being employable after graduation. And then we also really want to stay connected with our Epic alumni. So we support those efforts as well. And we'll dive into each of these areas just a little bit. And please remember, as you guys can see, it's a lot. So we'll kind of hit the high points, but we would love to connect with you either in the Q&A or after this webinar to answer specific questions that you may have. So first, we'll dive in to our advising pathway. So really, this team supports aligning our students' post-graduation goals with their current high school opportunities, and that's through the ICAP. So we assist students in completing the state-required individual career and academic plan, or ICAP. And then through that process, students are able to really understand their own interests, their strengths, their values, and their learning styles. Through that discovery, that helps them create a vision for their future. And obviously, we want to create goals around that vision. And then we want to make sure that they're connecting with our specialists through, those college pathways, career pathways. So they're taking courses that are meaningful and that they're going to be aligned with those goals they've created that are going to help them get to that vision they have for their future. And one thing that we like to say is we know that students are evolving. You start this ICAP process really with just a career cluster and interest inventory when you're in 8th grade. And a lot happens between the time that you're in 8th grade and when you graduate from high school. So we always just try to encourage students to really dive into that, exploratory process, because you're going to evolve as you should, and your interests are going to grow and change. What we want to make sure is that as your interests are evolving, you're continually taking courses that are meaningful, and you can kind of get some experiences in some different areas, and how you can put things together to get to that ultimate career goal that you want. Oftentimes, it's not just a one path. We kind of talk about our different pathways, but it's a lot of crossing that. So maybe you take one concurrent class while you're taking a career tech course, or maybe you're taking a career tech course and then you're getting some internship experience. So we really just try to create the most robust opportunity for students to feel fully prepared when they graduate. So back to that individual career and academic plan, students are going to go through that process in a tool called Naviance. So if you're a parent out there or a caregiver and you hear your students say, I need to log into Naviance, that is just basically the curriculum. And that is our college career and life platform where students will go through this process and complete their ICAP with their college and career advisor. That talks a little bit about sort of how they get into that process. But this is something that we fully support in our department. And so if your students mention that, you could always have them connect with their college and career advisor. This slide just kind of shows a highlight of some of the different activities that students will do in 8th through 12th grade in that ICAP process. So they're going to do things like a career cluster finder. They're going to favorite some careers that sound interesting to them. They're going to create some post-secondary goals. They're going to do some surveys about these are things that I'm interested in. And then we'll do a post survey. Am I still interested in that? So we can see, are we guiding them appropriately? So this is just kind of like a high level view of some of those pieces. And as mentioned before, those are state required pieces. So we got to make sure that we get that ICAP done. Let me make sure that's all we have for that area. And it looks like I have a little tool here that's not wanting to let me go forward. It's like a little pin. Let me see if I can get here now. Oh, okay, there we go. Let me go back one slide. Perfect. Okay, so moving on, let's talk a little bit about our career pathway. So with our career pathway, there are 3 overarching areas we support students, and that's going to be through internship opportunities, work-based learning or work study if you have a 9th or 10th grader, career tech programs, and we have a virtual internship program. And along with that, we also provide military recruiter connections across the state. So a little bit about the internship, work-based learning and work study. So all students may enroll. They can earn elective course credit through this. Juniors and seniors will get a next step or post-secondary opportunity course credit. We get credit from that from the state if students are taking an approved course in this area. And again, this is something that we highly encourage because it's really important that students actually get that experience in something in a course while they're in high school so they can see, is this something that actually might be fruitful for me when I graduate? In order to do this, students must be active in employment or internship opportunity, and there are 7 assignments that must be completed in their course to get credit. These courses are supported by their teacher, but we also provide support here in the department. Anita Manuel does a fabulous job with our internship and work-based learning and work study programs. She goes out and she connects with businesses and organizations across the state so we can have as many opportunities for students as possible. And she also hosts office hours and workshops for students to be able to complete that. We also support Career Tech. Hadley Miller is our Career Tech specialist, and she works really hard to connect with every single Career Tech from across the state. Career Tech, which you may have heard previously as VOTech, but Career Tech is Oklahoma's network of tech centers that offers hands-on training in over 90 career fields. These fields include health and welding and cosmetology and computer science, really, really wonderful programs out there. It can be tuition-free for eligible high school students that live in a tech district. And again, we've got Hadley here to connect with you. So if it's something that you or your students you may be interested in, you're like, gosh, I don't know what tech district that may be, you can connect with Hadley and she can make sure that you have all the information that you need for that. Career Tech programs are designed to prepare students for both college and careers. They provide real-world skills, elective credits, sometimes academic credits that can count towards graduation. The application process is really, really important. So students actually apply the year before they want to attend. Most programs are for juniors and seniors, and there are some academy programs available for 10th graders. So it's really important, even if you think that you have a student that may be interested in Career Tech, but you're not sure, I just encourage you to reach out to Hadley and get ahead of that process. Career Tech is something that is really, really evolved. And actually, I think for the first time in its long history, we're kind of upside down in supply and demand, meaning that we have more students interested in Career Tech than we have seats available sometimes. So it's actually quite competitive. So connect with Hadley and make sure that your student is best positioned to get one of those valuable spots. The next program I want to talk a little bit about is our EPIC Virtual Internship Program. This is a really, really cool, innovative program developed here at EPIC. We're very, very proud of it. In our virtual internship program, students can choose from 2 different tracks. They can do an industry certification track or a quick pace accelerated career preparation track, which is only 8 weeks. It is for our juniors and seniors. And again, students can earn that post-secondary opportunity or next step elective credit. There are some enrollment deadlines. So again, you want to make sure that you get your questions answered and find out if it's something that might be right for you and get that application in there and get enrolled early. Students must attend virtual sessions. That is a requirement, as well as weekly assignments. There's a capstone project. And then if you're in one of the certification programs, you might have to sit for an exam as well. Students are supported by 2 of our virtual internship facilitators here, Anita and Nicole, and they do a wonderful job. And those ladies just provide an excellent experience as well as office hours. And again, I just can't speak enough about this program and how valuable it is for our students. So we encourage you to check that out if it might be of interest to you. Okay, did I skip one? No, I did not. Okay, moving on to college pathway. Okay, so for students that are seeking to enter the workforce and college-related support, our college pathway team provides opportunities, looking to see if college might be the right path for them. So that's going to include things like our concurrent enrollment opportunities, both in person at area colleges and our collegiate academy, college planning, and financial aid and scholarships. So we really have 3 primary concurrent programs that we support. One of them is through Area College, where students can take concurrent enrollment at any accredited college in the state. Students can use a dual enrollment form to enroll in those courses. They will go through that process similar to their other curriculum and get enrolled through their the GSS, kind of that process. We just really encourage students, if it's something that you know you want to do, and you feel that you've got that support, and the area college is a great option for you. There's a little bit more that you want to kind of look into and maybe connect with Shannon on, as far as just making sure with Learning Fund that funds are available with fees and things like that, and you've got everything in. So connect with Shannon there if you think that area college is something that you might be interested in. We also have our TEL program, which is 100% online. And the college credits are earned from Oklahoma Christian University. It's a partnership between TEL and OC. And there's a variety of courses offered there. Again, less on steps to apply and things like that. But if you're interested in taking some of those online courses, Angie Lee would be your contact, and we are happy to connect with you on that. And then under the TEL umbrella, we also have a little bit more of an advanced program called the Epic Collegiate Academy, also known as ECA. And this would be for students who want to do a fully online program, want to have a fewer steps than we talked about with kind of area college, but they want to get a lot of college credit. So you can actually do an associate degree or 1 full year of college credit within the Epic Collegiate Academy. There's no out-of-pocket costs outside of the Learning Fund. And again, as I mentioned before, the Epic Collegiate Academy is under that TEL umbrella. So this would be for a dedicated student that says, I want to take as many concurrent courses as possible and maybe get a year or 30 credit hours done by the time I graduate, or maybe even an associate degree. So we have a lot of students that have success with that. But if you're interested, we would love to be able to support you there. Our college planning counselor, Bree Strickler, does a phenomenal job in providing individual and personal approach with college planning. She's got a lot of valuable tools and resources for students 8th through 12th grade. So you can't kind of start this process too young. That support includes college search and selection, sessions and events, maybe college tours that you're interested in. She can help facilitate that. She can support you all the way through the college admissions process with counselor recommendation letters, transcripts, applications, all kinds of things. So Bree is a wonderful, wonderful support for you there. So if you have, again, you can't start too early, but if you have a junior and senior and graduation is coming close, you might want to connect with Bree to make sure that you have all of your questions answered and you feel really, really confident in your decisions as you're applying for college. A second and really important part of the college process is making sure that you have financial aid and scholarship support. So Micah Burke provides those services for us in the department. She is our financial aid and scholarship counselor. She really works with students to make sure that they have completed the FAFSA or the FAFSA opt-out form, which is now a requirement in the state of Oklahoma to graduate from high school. And again, this is just in the spirit of making sure that students are maximizing their opportunity to earn aid to be able to attend college or career tech. So she facilitates that. One of our most popular scholarships is Oklahoma Promise. So she really supports students in making sure they understand when the application window is, who's eligible, and she can help walk students and families through that process. Other opportunities such as national merit, external scholarships awarded from outside organizations or donors, and then internal scholarships awarded from colleges or universities. So she really helps to support all of those areas and works closely with our universities and colleges across the state to make sure that we are well educated about scholarships that are available to our students, and we're driving students to be able to apply, and not only apply, but attain those competitive scholarships. So we are very thankful for Micah and the work that she does. Okay, I think this is our last area, and I have no idea how I'm doing on time, but hopefully okay.
You are doing great. You are doing great. We got about 5 more minutes.
Perfect. Okay, so lastly is our transition services. This is something that I think is very unique and special to Epic. We have a dedicated team member here who really works with our impending graduates to make sure that they are fully prepared and they have clear goals as they are preparing to move out into kind of the real world. So she will meet with every one of those students and just make sure that they feel fully equipped and have a plan, not just the idea, but a plan and the resources to go execute that plan upon graduation. She also developed and facilitates a unique program called Prepare You, which is a series focused on essential life and career skills, which is wonderful. It covers topics like workplace expectations, communication, job searching. She'll help students with resume building and editing. She can even support mock interviews. So again, we are so thankful for this valuable team member that we have in Nicole school. And we just encourage our seniors or maybe juniors that might be transitioning into their final year to connect with Nicole and fully utilize her gifts and talents to make sure that you're empowered, future ready, and in demand. The last thing that I just wanted to mention are some events that are coming up within our department. We have support nights intermittently throughout the year. Those occur, you can see on those dates in August, September, and through the new year. Our very first one is coming up tomorrow at 6 p.m. And we just invite all staff and students, caregivers, families to come. And if we can answer any questions about any of the topics that I very quickly discussed, we would be happy to support you in that way. And we also have our college application week coming up. Every year we do a dedicated college and career week, which is a lot of fun. And within that week, we host a college, career, and military fair where we invite universities, colleges, career techs, and military branches to come and engage with our students. Students can ask questions, get collateral, learn about all the opportunities available to them. And then at the very end of the year, we hope it to be in late April, we also will host a Future Ready Employee Fair. And this is actually where we invite employers from businesses and organizations around the state to come and engage with our students who are looking for jobs. So these are actually employers that are looking to hire EPIC students right now. And so we are looking forward to that again this spring. This is our exhaustive team member list that includes the folks that I mentioned today in the areas that they served, as well as our college and career advisors who live around the state, and we'll be connecting with our students very soon to start that individual career and academic plan process, as I mentioned. So that was a whole lot, and I'm glad I came in on or under time. I wish I could dive into every area with a bit more specificity, but I do just welcome any questions that you guys may have, and thank you for allowing us the privilege of serving you and your students. It is such a pleasure, and just please let us know how we can support you.
Oh, Jay, you did such a great job. That was a lot of information. You did a fabulous, fabulous job. I do know that we have questions, but I would just like to say I've been in several school districts and I have never seen such a team that comes together to support families because being an educator, being a parent, I have no idea how to navigate this. And so having not one person at the school to help me, but having an entire team that specializes in different areas, that is so important. What your team is doing is really changing the difference for these families and these students. I know in our social media that we post a lot of their stories, of their success stories, and a lot of that is your team. So thank you for supporting them and providing this. Bree, do we have questions?
We do. So I have added a few of the emails, addresses that Jay mentioned there in the chat to everyone. So I added Hadley's. That was one of the questions. And then the big question is, we've learned about the service learning, work-based learning activities that are required for each 9th through 12th grade students by the state. How do students meet that goal?
Yeah, so it is a state requirement for your ICAP that you have to do one service learning or kind of community service activity. There are a variety of ways that you can earn that credit in your community, maybe a local organization. It could be your church or any type of organization that a business that your student might have the opportunity to engage in. What we try to shy away from are things like, does it count if they watched Baby Sister for an hour or something like that? And it's like, well, that might be something that's maybe just that you're doing just as a family member. So really anything, any service that you're providing outside of kind of what you would normally do in your familial situation, there's a lot of flexibility around that. I do want to mention that whenever your student starts ICAP with their college and career advisor, they will go over all of that and give them kind of the parameters of what that might be. But again, there's a whole lot of flexibility there. So even if your student said, I'm going to go out and pick up trash in my local community, if you can connect with somebody who probably isn't a family member that can sign off on that and affirm that happened, that even something like that would work really well. That's a
Great.
great
And
question.
if they missed that last year, how do they go about doing that
Yep,
this year?
they can go back and get that credit, and their college and career advisor will go through all of that with them in that process.
Wonderful. And then you mentioned Nicole earlier, and I didn't put her address in there, but I know you had it on a screen. What is her email address?
It's just going to be Nicole Brown.
Perfect. I will add that in there.
Thank you.
That's all the questions I see.
Okay. Well, I just
Um,
want to, oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Shannon, thank you. And I appreciate your voice. And I just want to give a big shout out to the school district. Shannon is correct. I really feel like we invest in college and career and post-secondary education preparedness like no other school district does. A lot of brick and mortar high schools, you have one counselor per grade level, and they have to do every single thing that I spoke about today. And so that means they just have a little bit of information in a lot of different areas. And so the fact that we have dedicated team members that can really pour in to our community, our students and families is quite special. So again, just thank you guys. And thanks for having us.
Great job. Yes, ditto, ditto, ditto. Jay, if you want to go backstage and if any questions pop in, if you want to answer those, we are so thankful for all the knowledge and you got that all in time. That was perfect. Great job. So, ladies and gentlemen, friends of Epic, if you are still here with us, I just want to let you know that it has been our pleasure as the family engagement team and all of the Epic employees that have come together to share this knowledge with you. But our time is coming to an end. Today was the last day of the Back to School Expo. However,